Alright, bro, we just got back from playing Still Wakes the Deep. What the frickin' crap is this trash? For one, the game was not scary. It's supposed to be a horror game, but it was just not that scary. This game, by the way, is supposed to be surrounding around UK men, English men, Irish men, Scots men, a lot of men from Europe, European background. That is the demographic of this game. Do you want to know something that's so interesting? Playing this game, they immediately, they threw in freaking black dudes to be a part of the oil rig that the location of the game is centered on. There are Scottish, English, black dudes in this game. Okay, enough of this crap. It's so freaking stupid, so freaking gay. I can't even believe that they did this. We do this one game after the other. What the frick are we doing here, man? It's a joke. And what's even more hilarious, you have this one character named Brody. He's one of the black guys. And it is so ridiculous because literally if you listen to the guy closely as he's speaking, you're like, holy crap, that is the voice of a white man. A white voice actor voicing a black man. What the frick?
McCleary! Thank Christ! You alright being up on your feet?
My heat's killing me, but... Aye, I think so. You got me out. Did you get Gregor?
I got you, aye. I couldn't find Gregor. Fuck.
That guy sounds like a freaking white dude. Brody sounds like a freaking white dude.
Oh, no.
Is that a white voice actor that they made a freaking black dude? Jeez, the clown world.
Cass!
What?
It's such a joke, and this is not the first time that woke games have done this, where we have freaking white people voicing the freaking characters of black people. And we've even had games where black people are voicing for white characters. It's such a freaking joke whenever you have this happen. And it's like, enough is enough, bro. There's nothing wrong with white people having their things, having their countries, having their products, having their video games, having their cultures. There's nothing wrong with anything being white person centric. Nowadays, they want it to be an issue. Well, there's nothing wrong with it. Enough is enough with the freaking wokeness. And that's what this game does. It tries to turn all these Englishmen, all these white identities, it tries to turn them into black people, somewhat, right? Mixed race nonsense within white demographics, white races. This is stupid. So that on its own, just, I can't stand it. It's stupid. Then you walk into a specific room in this game that literally demonizes. The main character sits there. He walks into a room of one of the characters, and the character, right, in these people's rooms, they have things that defines them in their rooms, and there's one specific room that your character will say anything about when he walks in, and he sees a poster that says, "Put Britons first." What do you think that means? Gee, that's super synonymous to something else. I don't know what it is. Oi, laddie. It looks like a proper English representation here. How fucking grimy. We are NFing in here, brother. We are NFing. See, brother. See, brother.
Doesn't he surprise me? Prick.
Whew. Okay. Alright. Oh. Woo. All right. I am ready to tear. Well, guys, that was a good game. It was a good game. You know, we made it real deep. Just about as deep as I went into my wife, and that's why she never got pregnant. And yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna tear this game a freaking new one. Oh my. The video for this is going to be a bloody massacre. Oh my. I am definitely ready. So what did he say? Of course he is, or of course he would. Prick. He's a prick because he believes in these things. It says put Britons first. It says stop immigration. And here, actually on the spot, I'm gonna pull it up. So it says stop immigration, reject common market, restore capital punishment, make Britain great again. Oh wow, gee, I wonder what they're referencing to. Make Britain great again. Huh, interest. I wonder what that means. Then they say scrap overseas aid, and then they also say rebuild our armed forces. And what do you think the main character says when he reads this? Oh, and then it says beneath that, it says vote National Front. What do you think the main character says when he reads this? He says this exact thing right here.
Doesn't he surprise me? Prick.
When I heard that, I was like, freaking screw you, you mother effing libtards, and screw you developers. How you always want to demonize the other side and their politics when they're right about everything that they say, by the way, and how you sit there and you believe in these ethics, you believe in these values that destroy societies, has destroyed Rome, Greece, and every other nation, great nation outside of those two, throughout history, that has ever existed, that was ever stable and had a great economy ever beforehand. These things have, of course, always destroyed economies, destroyed societies. But again, these effing developers, they have to push, they cannot help it. They have to push their freaking politics into these games. And they literally do it at the start of the game. When you're walking around, you're walking into these little cabins, and you just stumble upon this mother effer. He freaking walks across this freaking random poster that's obviously what? It's a stand-in for what? Put America first. Make America great again. They want to put in some kind of anti-Trump sentiment into this game. Well, screw you. Because again, stop immigration. Again, you need to pay attention, by the way. Anytime a leftist sits there and they complain about anything, there's always a sleight of hand. And do not forget, liberalism is a war philosophy. They always try to posture themselves as if not to be as such, because they want to get away with all their policies. They want to come across that they're more moral and they're more virtuous than you, so that they can get away with enforcing their politics. You must understand this. So again, let's go through these layers real quick though. Stop immigration. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means stop people who you are not vetting coming into your country, stop them from coming in, stop them from committing crimes within your country, and stop them from diluting the ancestral makeup of your society. Because multiculturalism, by the way, destroys nations, it destroys patriotism, it destroys nationalism, it destroys all the ethics that your forefathers stood upon whenever you bring them in. And by the way, politics is racial. This is something that everyone wants to tell you doesn't exist, it's not real. No. Politics is racial. And you need to understand, when you bring a man in from another kin, from another bloodline into your country, he will inherently have different ethics, values, and beliefs than your own kinsmen. And liberals and leftists, they love to do this thing, and this is how you can define them best. Leftists love that what they define, let's actually put it this way, but you know, what they define their position by, again, let's redefine this here, what I'm about to say. They love the belief that through the less to which defines their own position, it makes them that much more knowing or that much more enlightened. They find that the more simplistic, the less that defines their positions, their beliefs, and makes them that much more enlightened. If you pay attention to what leftists think and say, they will always base their arguments within heavy, oversimplistic simplicity. They love to say things, for instance, like, all people are no different from each other. Everybody just wants to spend time with their friends and family. They just want peace, and they just want love, and they just want happiness and opportunities. That's all everyone wants. Everyone's really just the same deep down inside. No, they're not. Because let me tell you something. Lucifer also wants peace. Lucifer also wants happiness. The devil, Satan himself, he wants many of these things too, that good people want. The fact of the matter is that someone bad and someone good can want the same things, and often they do. The devil wants many of the same things that God wants. The devil wants to be worshipped. The devil wants to be praised. The devil, he wants peace. He does not want you to go to war against him because he wants to go by unrestrained. What you have to remember is that there are things to discriminate within the world, distinctions to be made. There are differences in value. There are foods that are unhealthy for you and foods that are healthy for you. There are bad people, good people, bad cultures, good cultures. This has happened all throughout time, space, and history. You cannot eradicate this immovable truth. Again, do not listen to them when they sit there and they make these blatant lies against you so that they can facilitate their crimes, or I'm sorry, their ideology and their beliefs. But effectively what it is, liberals will always moralize you, shame you, and guilt you so that you may afford them their crimes. And another way of saying this, they will guilt and shame you to play by their rules so that you afford them their crimes. And that is what has happened all throughout history, and it's happening today, and we all see it as plain as day. Do not believe that because they sit there and they try to play it off like they're innocent, they're goody two-shoes. No, they're not. Pay attention to what they're bringing upon you. Pay attention to the sleight of hand. Anytime they complain about something, and by the way, remember this as well, they only attack what can defeat them. One more time, they only attack what can defeat them. So again, pay attention to the sleight of hand. Whenever they complain about something, oh, you're not super accepting around homosexuals, blah, blah. What do you think the sleight of hand is? They want to push homosexuality onto you as an adult and also your children. Understand this. There's a reason they push what they push for, and they're not freaking normal. The left is made up of delinquents and degenerates. They have to play the game through malice, through deception, or sorry, malicious deception, but you know, malice in of itself. They must, but sometimes they're separate from each other, the malice and the deception. Regardless of all things, you must pay attention to how they are facilitating their thoughts, their ideas, their beliefs, and their notions, their policies, their ethics. You must pay attention because they will do everything they can to de-escalate you, to pacify you, so that you don't have any idea within yourself that I should resist these people. Not only are they categorical evil, but they want to bring upon myself and my children and my family their death, the destruction of my nation. Let's just be very clear about this. They don't want anything good, and they have to hide behind false virtue, false intentions in order to get away with what they think and what they believe. And so that they can also push it on to you without any resistance. So they can just have on block. And then you see what kind of civilization you have once they have their on block power. When they get what they want, you realize the reality of what they're fighting for. But anyways, that's what we have with this game when you read this poster and they demonize it. And the main character, he sits there and he says that the freaking dude, whoever the character is that has this poster up for put Britons first and make Britain great again. Love of God, bro. I sat there when I read this and I was like, oh yeah, you prick, right? The freaking main character, he says, you prick.
Doesn't he surprise me? Prick.
I'm like, oh, okay, let's go into your room. Let's go inside your little cubby and let's see your freaking Britain flag. Like a good little ideological slave, they tell you what's right. They tell you what's wrong. And you, like a good little freaking puppy, you freaking wag your tail and you follow on your leash. And then you watch a gay guy have a shower. I want to see, where's your freaking flag, bro? Let me see that flag. Stronger together. Show me your flag. Where's your flag? Where's the flag? Gee. Wow. Wow, what a prick. Yeah, what a prick. Wow, he loves his country. I don't see your flag. Gee, I wonder if it's bigoted and hateful to be patriotic and nationalistic for your civilization that born and raised you. Gee. Yeah, this, having a flag garnered as important by somebody that the developers refers to as a prick. Gee, there's no purpose to this. There's no reason. This is just sitting here. This doesn't mean anything. Oh, they didn't mean that bigots, conservative bigots, post up their flags all over the place for their country. Oh, they totally didn't mean to demonize those who value their country. Not at all. Not at all when they call you a prick. For valuing these things, it actually stabilizes civilization all throughout history. Every civilization that has fallen apart didn't do these things. They didn't stop immigration. They didn't reject getting screwed over by outside marketplaces, other countries. They didn't restore capital punishment. They didn't make their country great again. They didn't scrap overseas aid, sending a bunch of charity money to other countries outside of yourself. And they didn't rebuild their armed forces. Every country that hasn't done that, they've all been torn apart. But you're right. The guy's a prick. Oh, yeah, this guy's such a prick, right? He's a prick because he's a patriot, because he loves his country, because he wants to see his country safe, stable, secure, and prosperous. What a prick that he believes in things that many generations of men that create safe, stable, and prosperous civilizations, these are the things that they all believe in. This guy is such a prick for being such a piece of trash conservative, most likely, right? Well, yes, this guy's a stand-in for the conservatives. This guy is such a prick for believing in conservatism, in standing for ethics and policies that creates a safe and stable and prosperous nation. Okay, again, stop immigration. Stop bringing people. What does it mean? Stop bringing people in that take your people's jobs. Stop bringing people in who do not speak your language, who do not honor nor respect your ideals, your virtues, your notions. Here's another thing, by the way. Again, when you bring another man of another kin into your nation, you will inherently enter civil conflict. That will always happen. You are bringing one spirit of man to rival another man because these are rivaling cultures. These are people from different backgrounds. They don't share the same beliefs. They don't share the same positions unless they're very similar in race, right? You bring a Welsh guy to go hang out with a Scottish dude. They won't be one for one, but they have much more synergistic civilizations, values, morals, ideals, okay? Their principles are largely aligned to one another so they can have synergy. But then when you freaking sit there and you're like, let's just have a Buddhist and a Muslim live in the same society, what do you think that does? That brings about internal civil conflict, inevitable conflict within a civilization. And again, when you bring another man of a separate kin into your nation, they will speak a different language, they will follow different ethics, different rules, different ideas of how society should operate. The nuances look very different between different societies, and this is the issue. And we're seeing that today in so many nations. We're bringing in a bunch of people to a bunch of countries. Nobody ever asked for these people to come in, but when these people do come in, guess what happens? You start diluting the culture of your society. You start diluting all the morals and the ethics that your people believe in, and suddenly things become a lot more androgynous. Suddenly your culture, suddenly your values, they don't mean so much anymore. Suddenly the men of your society, they're no longer patriotic, no longer nationalistic, no longer do they have an identity to their country, and now suddenly they are demoralized. And that is always what happens. It has happened all throughout history, and it's happening today, and we all act like it doesn't matter, it doesn't happen, it's not real. And when it does, and when it comes and it flies straight into your mother effing face, you will see the truth for what it is, and you will wake up to the reality of what this creates, something like immigration. And this is why immigration's not good, and this is why someone like that would say stop immigration. Because why? A man's ancestry, by the way, who died, lived, sweated, and died, bled into the soil of his nation. You're telling that man that he has no ancestral entitlement to his country. That is effectively what you're saying when you believe that you should just be open border society and just bring in a bunch of people from a bunch of different backgrounds who don't follow your language, follow your culture, follow your ideals, follow any of your notions of society. Again, let's be very clear about this. Many Anglo-Saxon countries are the reason why we have universities today, why we have quantum physics today, why we have higher learning, higher thought, higher philosophy today. The reason why we have these things is because of Anglo-Saxon societies. Many societies do not facilitate themselves the same way. Many civilizations that are not Anglo-Saxon, they never even had universities, even long after the Anglo-Saxons created the first universities, which by the way came from the church. What people don't realize is, and this is unbelievable, this is amazing that so many atheists, and again, this is what leftists do, they hijack and they have to contort reality and deconstruct meaning. But again, atheists love to sit there and say that science and religion are separate. No, they're not. Literally, sciences, they came from religion. The love of God, the first universities and schools, they all, higher institutions of thought that were bringing about the sciences, they all came from the churches. Love of God, man. But here we are, right? We act like none of these things are real. None of these things exist. None of these merits of very specific cultures that other cultures never achieved and were never on track to achieve. We act like these things do not exist when they do. There is nothing good when you bring in a man of another sentiment into your society, and he has no will, no obligation to follow your laws, your customs, anything, even your language. And we're seeing that right now in America and the UK. Yeah, I wonder why a little prick would sit there and say that stop immigration. I wonder why he would say that. Why would that frickin' prick? Why would he say that? Why would he believe that? Gee, I wonder why. It's not like we've been shown this time and time again in history that whenever you mix up and you turn any civilization into a melting pot, hell pot, that you start losing the society that you were born with, that you founded, that so many men died for once upon a time. And something that will happen is that eventually you will live in a society that's no longer safe because you're bringing in a lot of criminals, by the way. That's another thing, a part of immigration that no one wants to freaking talk about, but that's the reality behind it. And what these freaking libtards do not understand, and they fail to believe this, is that you will eventually one day live in a civilization where you can no longer moralize your enemy any longer, because they don't speak your language. So when you're sitting there, you're like, you're a bigot, and you're this, and you're that, and oh my gosh, you're so evil, and you're so wrong, and you're all these bad little things. You have to understand something. You won't be able to get away with this forever. You won't be able to sit there and moralize and pressure your ideological opposition for long, because eventually you will live in a society where the person that you're moralizing, they won't speak your language, they don't care about your people, they don't care about the ethics that your race stands for. Yes, again, politics is racial. Different races, they have different ethics, different politics, different policies and beliefs that they stand for. There's a reason why certain civilizations are socialist and certain civilizations are much more naturally capitalistic and whatever else. Eventually, you will live in a future society where suddenly you realize, wow, I'm trying to moralize this person. I'm trying to tell them that they're a bigot and they don't care and they don't speak my language. And in fact, they want to commit a crime upon me rather than listen to me in my language in my home country where they invaded my soil and they refuse to take on my language. I mean, they shouldn't be here anyways, but not only did they invade, but they also refuse to take on your language. This is something that a lot of libtards do not understand, they fail to understand, and they refuse to understand. But yeah, I wonder why a prick would believe in stop immigration. Then we come down to reject common market, which I looked it up originally. It's been some time since I actually looked it up, but as far as I understand it, when I did look it up, is that common market is basically free trade between multiple nations beyond and afar from your own local economy, right? So it's international trade, international commerce. That's what common market is, at least when I looked it up. So, gee, I wonder why a prick would say reject common market. It couldn't be the fact that when you're trading with other outside countries, for one, you're not making your own products, you're purchasing products from outside countries and you're enriching them, buying their products, you're buying their apples, not your own people's apples. So you're giving them your country's money and they're not giving you their money. Gee, we've seen a lot of that recently in modern day. Or they put a lot of tariffs as well on your products. So not only are you paying extra for their products, but then you're also giving them money for their products rather than growing your own apples and then giving money back to your own people for your people working in your economy. Then again, you're working in your own economy too. And then you're giving each other, you're exchanging those goods and services. And ultimately, you're helping each other facilitate economic prosperity. No, now you're giving it to someone else in their country, right? Oh, we want to build cars for our country? Well, we shouldn't build our own cars and then purchase our own cars from our own fellow man within our own country that worked and labored a job in our economy to build that car, and then I worked my own job to now buy the car. No, we shouldn't do that. No, not at all. We should go look at someone else outside of our own country who puts tariffs on their products, by the way. So now we're just giving them basically a tax of money, right? We're paying a certain amount just to receive the product, and then we also purchase their product. So now we're giving their guy money for working in their economy. So our people, we're not enriching them, we're not giving them prosperity. No, now we're buying products from someone else in a different country, different ethics, all the other things. We're giving them money, we're enriching their lives, and on top of that, their economy. And again, they can tariff us, and a lot recently, nowadays, they do tariff you quite a bit, and then you end up paying extra. You're giving them even extra money for some reason on top of the product that you're already purchasing from them. So reject common market. I wonder why a prick would believe, like the main character calls him in the game, I wonder why a prick would believe in rejecting common markets. And then here we go, right? Restore capital punishment. That's the next line there of reasoning, of thinking, of rhetoric. Gee, I wonder why. I wonder if that has anything to do with the previous point made. Stop immigration. Oh, you mean a bunch of undocumented criminals that you're just pouring into your country, a bunch of people who have no obligation to your culture, your ethics, your laws, your customs, any of your rules, anything that you facilitate society based upon within your culture. Gee, they come in, oftentimes they come in illegally, so they commit a crime coming in, and then they end up committing crimes coming in. And we know that this is happening in mass in a lot of countries today, and this has happened all throughout history, that whenever you allow massive immigration to a society, that is the precipitator to that civilization falling under. So gee, I wonder why a prick that sits there and says stop immigration, which by the way equals also stopping criminals from pouring into your country, gee, I wonder why they would say restore capital punishment. And I wonder it's because there's criminals within your own society. They do some very heinous acts and actions. And when I say heinous, I mean heinous. You freaking listening right now, think to yourself the worst that anyone can do. I wonder why anyone would believe in capital punishment for someone that commits the worst of the worst, and you have all the evidence that they did the worst of the worst. I wonder why. Interesting. Why would anyone believe in capital punishment? It's not like homicide is a bad thing in society. It's not like assault or robbery or any of these other things. It's not like criminal action is a bad thing in society. Oh, and you know those people, they love grapes. They love grapes. You know the fruit? Grapes, they love them. It's very sweet, very delicious. Grapes, they love grapes. Some even call it graping. They love graping. Well, yes, these individuals, they don't deserve capital punishment. And all obviously criminals, by the way, they never become repeat offenders. That never happens, ever. I seriously wonder why a prick would ever sit there and believe in anything like capital punishment and restoring it to society. Gee, that's really interesting. So he wants to stop immigration, which all throughout history, in modern day included, has always brought in a large batch of criminals to your society who commit some very heinous actions. And then, gee, that's interesting. When you let them off the hook, or you just expect that, oh, we should just imprison them, and now we'll just make them a deficit on the American or the UK taxpayer dollar, right? So you're working a job, and for some reason, you're working a job, the government just believes it needs to take your money from the labor that you're placing into the economy, the money that you should be earning, the government's taking a portion of that from you, and then they're giving that money so that we can now service or entertain the continued life of a criminal who commits the most heinous of actions and basically has betrayed any sense of civility or lawful behavior within a civil society. Gee, I wonder why someone would believe in restore capital punishment. It's not like we spend billions of dollars, a bunch of Americans in UK taxpayers who work within their economy. Gee, I wonder why they would want their money to stop being robbed from them and given to prisons to continue the lifespan of some criminal who really should just be removed out of the frickin' population to begin with. Gee, I wonder why anyone would believe in capital punishment. It's not like once they get out or whatever, it's not like they also recommit those crimes ever. That totally doesn't happen ever. Yeah, here's the simple fact about it. Restore capital punishment means we have a bunch of criminals. They commit a lot of crime. There should be an absolute punishment for an absolute obscenity or atrocity within civilization. When something horrific is done, we must remove these people from civilization permanently so that we can reinstitute a safe and secure civilization. And of course, nowadays we're seeing a lot of societies that refuse to enact capital punishment against a lot of heinous criminals. And yeah, people don't feel very safe. And yeah, actually people feel the least safe that they've ever felt in many decades within these separate civilizations. Civilization has jointly become more prosperous in modern day, but jointly much more dangerous. Gee, I wonder why that is. It has, I bet it has nothing to do with allowing criminals to continue their existence past crime. Gee, and I wonder if you had absolute punishment for absolute crimes, I wonder if most criminals would think twice about crime. Gee, it's not like there's other countries out there like China that when you have absolute criminals who commit absolute crimes and they receive the absolute punishment, it's not like those criminals and criminality in general just suddenly ceases to exist. Oh, but that's right. I'm sorry. The libtards told me that, well, because Batman doesn't kill, that's virtuous. And because we decide that we just need to throw every criminal into a prison and then finance his entire existence off of some working, law-abiding citizen, somehow that's ethical, somehow that's reasonable, right? So you're impoverishing, again, let's just think about this. You are impoverishing, you are taking from the labor, the economical labor, the income of a law-abiding citizen. You have another person, citizen or not, they commit a crime. They betray civility and law and order within your civilization. They commit the worst of the worst. And you believe that someone that follows the law, now a part of their income, a part of their paycheck, should be going to someone that broke the law. And not some arbitrary law. No, we're talking about a legitimate law, okay? They murdered. They did something more heinous than murder. Yeah, it's totally not unethical or irrational within a civilization to economically subsidize criminals through the labor and the income of a law-abiding citizen. Nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah, I wonder why someone would believe in restoring capital punishment. I really wonder why. But obviously that guy's a prick, and obviously civilizations that do objectively become safer as a result of removing criminals from the population, obviously those civilizations are just doing things wrong, and they're bigots, and they don't understand better. They're not as enlightened as us libtards who believe that criminals should just walk freely into society, that they should get shortened sentences, which by the way, that does happen too in a lot of these liberal societies. No one wants to talk about that, where we drop charges. These criminals, they go around and they love their grapes. They love eating them too. And then they sit there and they get off, and they'll get 10-year, 20-year sentences, and then suddenly they just get off completely scot-free, and then they just get 5 years after all of those other years are suspended off from their imprisonment time. Then they just get a couple years of probation. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that at all. And then, oh yeah, it's so weird when they recommit a lot of the crimes that they're on probation for. That's really interesting. Gee, I wonder why somebody would believe in restoring capital punishment for objectively obscene crimes. Not crimes that women make up. They're like, this random thing. Oh, let me make up this random allegation. No, we're talking about legitimate crimes that have legitimate evidence. I wonder why someone, a random prick, I wonder why they would believe in restoring capital punishment. And then, of course, making Britain great again. Gee, I wonder why someone would believe in that. Wow, that's interesting. I wonder what the leftists at this frickin' company, whoever the frick made this game, still wakes the deep. I wonder what they mean by it being wrong and evil, and it makes you a prick to believe in the fact that you should make your country great again. Gee, so that's interesting. Your country used to be better than it currently is. Wow, that's interesting. Making your country great again. There's something wrong and evil with saying that you should make your country great again. Making your country a great place to be, a great place to live in. Man, that is wrong, that's evil. You're right, he's a major prick. How dare you want a country to be great again? No, you're right. We should bring in a bunch of criminals to our country. They should pillage your country. You should have a bunch of countries outside of yourself making a bunch of products. You purchase their products. You're enriching their economy, not your own. And then they can place tariffs on you because you don't have the power position. You're not making your own products. So then they start placing tariffs on you. So now they're just making hand over fist money, income off of you. You're not only buying their products, now you're getting taxed for their products. Extra money. So now it's just that much harder to afford anything. It's that much harder to purchase anything, and your economy's becoming more and more impoverished. Interesting. And then on top of that, it's wrong for criminals to be dealt the absolute punishment for their absolute crimes. So it's wrong and it's evil for capital punishment. You're right. We should not make our country great again. It's better that we allow criminals to just run wild and that we should just have an impoverished economy. You are correct, libtard. And then the next one, scrap overseas aid. Oh, you mean overseas aid, which by the way, none of the UK countries are predominantly doing. It's actually America doing that. Again, this is an allegory for freaking America, right? Put Britons first. Who the frick is actually saying that? This is a stand-in for put America first. This is a stand-in for make America great again. And they just want to get their freaking licks in. But again, scrap overseas aid. Gee, I wonder why a prick would sit there and say, let's scrap overseas aid. It's not like you're throwing a bunch of charity money overseas to a bunch of countries who don't really care about you. They don't really owe you anything. They don't care to owe you anything. Your country's best interests are not in their hearts, and you're throwing billions of dollars to these other countries while your own people are not being given billions and they're being impoverished. Because, right, remember common market, buying other people's products? Oh, remember immigration, how they're taking your jobs or how they're sitting there and they're impoverishing your economy, raising your living expenses and also the products that you're purchasing. Making everything more expensive because now there's more people purchasing these things. There's more supply and demand going on here. And really what we're doing is that we're reducing the supply and we're increasing the demand. Gee, I wonder why everything's so expensive now. Huh, that's really strange. Gee, so I wonder why someone would want their country to be great again. And then I wonder why, while you're impoverishing your own country, this random prick, whoever they are, why would they sit there and say that they believe in scrapping overseas aid? I wonder, that's a Scooby-Doo mystery. What a strange mystery that is. Very strange. Yeah, it's not like you want to stop having your taxpayer dollars, which is effectively your income being stolen, robbed from you by the government. You want to stop seeing that being given to countries overseas that are already benefiting enough from your country, and really they shouldn't benefit at all. Gee, I wonder why a prick who works their job, they're getting their money taken from them by the government, why would they want your country to scrap overseas aid to a bunch of countries that are not entitled your country's income, your country's economy? And again, this would be a different situation if we're talking about economic vassalage. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about individual within sovereign country wishing to see that country remain sovereign. Really strange, really weird. I wonder why they want to scrap overseas aid. It's not like it has anything to do with, how about when I make my own money within my own economy, I keep my own money, I purchase my own people's products, we enrich our own economy, we bolster up our own prosperity, and how about we don't throw a bunch of aid to a bunch of countries outside of my borders? How about we throw aid to our own people? Oh, and that's interesting. A lot of countries that do throw a bunch of aid to other countries, interesting, they have a lot of homeless and they have a lot of issues with their economy. They have failing infrastructure. That's really strange. I wonder why a prick would sit there and say, scrap overseas aid. Then we have the last one here that ties into everything beautifully. Rebuild our armed forces. What a prick. Gee, I wonder what's so wrong with someone that wants to rebuild their armed forces. Gee, when you're bringing in en bloc en masse a bunch of criminals to your society. Gee, I wonder if you would really like it if you would rebuild your armed forces, your police, and that you would start bringing back law and order to your society, and that you would have some kind of force that negates and wards off a bunch of invasive forces that are impoverishing and committing heinous actions and crimes against your people and your population. I wonder why you would want to rebuild your armed forces. Or, by the way, right, it's not like throughout history, whenever you don't have an armed forces, specifically a military that's ready to defend itself against foreign invaders, it's not like a country ever gets invaded. Oh, that's, you know, that whole thing going on about, there's this thing called Ukraine and Russia. Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah, it's not like that's going on in modern day. And it's not like that goes on throughout history, that when you don't have a strong military presence for your country, that suddenly you are susceptible to outside forces that wish to invade you. Oh gee, it's not like when Rome was losing their military might, or Greece when it was losing its military might. It's not like there were outside invasive forces that wished to take over your country. Oh, you're right, this guy is such a prick for believing in rebuilding our armed forces. Yeah, you're right, libtard. Keeping your country safe and keeping an armed forces ready to defend against outside invaders? Yes, that is so wrong and evil that you want to maintain the safety and the continued sovereignty of your country and not become a vassal to another country or other things. But you're right. Again, you're right. Rebuilding your armed forces, having a police force that keeps the citizens safe, having a military that keeps outside forces from attacking your citizens and taking over your country. Yeah, you're right. This guy is a prick for believing in that. Yeah, and then it says vote National Front, which is obviously it's wrong and evil to be a nationalist, to love your country, to support your country, and wish for your country to have continued sovereignty, continued health, and not to crumble away and be invaded by outside forces, whether it's invading to become a domestic invasive force or invading from outside to take over and subjugate your population. Yeah, you're right. There's something wrong and evil about being a nationalist and supporting your society, supporting your country, but that's where we're at right now. So when I saw this within Still Wakes the Deep, and I was playing the game, and I read this freaking flyer, and then the freaking main character calls this freaking dude a prick for believing in these things, you can imagine my anger, because I had some legit anger when I was originally playing the game. And ever since then, by the way, we've had the attempted assassination on a current running leading candidate. His name is Donald Trump. And that also happened ever since this happened when I was playing the game initially. And then, of course, we've seen how a lot of libtards, how they sit there and they wish that the shooter actually aimed better. They wish that the freaking leading candidate, who is a patriot and wants to see the nation safe and secure and stable and prosperous, they wish that he died. And they would rather their demonic ruling class, their demonic candidates who are destroying your country, bringing in record levels of crime, they would rather these clowns instead. Gee, I wonder who's actually evil. The person that wants to put your country first and your people first and stop other outside forces from subjugating or subverting your population and its economy and its culture? Or is it the people that want to destroy your nation, destroy your culture, destroy your people? Are they the evil ones? I don't know. Having a hard time keeping up with all this at this point today. It's not rocket science, dude, but here we are. Again, these developers, these libtard developers, they can't help themselves. They have to involve their politics within these products. And something you have to realize is that we've had for a long time a lot of liberals. They've always loved to sit there and say, oh, don't involve your politics. Oh, involving your politics with everything is so tiresome. Oh, yawn. You talking about politics, it's just too much. It's too tiresome. And then what happens once you sit there and you're like, oh, I guess I should just become apolitical or something. I should just not talk about politics. And obviously there's something wrong with me and I'm a social retard for talking about politics. Well, something happens. Something very strange happens. They make everything about their politics. Very strange. and this is reality to everything, is that it's always been about politics. Never confuse yourself about this. It's always been about politics, and it always will be about politics. Civilization has always been about politics. To believe yourself apolitical is to also be a coward, is to also mean that you support whoever the activists are, what they're running and facilitating within your country. You support that. That's why you're apolitical, because you're saying, I don't need to do anything. Everyone else is already doing what I support. So you support the mutilation today of children. Right now, you support rampant homosexuality. You support that freaking crap. You support the Rainbow Brigade. You support multiculturalism and how it's destroying your culture, destroying your people, destroying your society, destroying your economy. You support all the other things, all the corruption that right now we're seeing in a lot of modern first world societies. You support a lot of these things because why? You believe that you should be apolitical and that's virtuous to be apolitical. In the end, the reality is everything is political. They want you to believe that things are not political so that then your enemy can go unrestrained within their policies, their ethics, and their notions. Anyways, another thing I have to mention, there's a freaking female in this game that looks like a dude. It might be a dude. Anyways, her name's Susie or whatever.
Alright, kids.
I'm alright.
Oh look, a female... Oh, what the frick is that?
See this whole rig? It's a pile of shite. It's falling apart.
That's an actual woman?
Fucking Cadal. And fucking Rennick cutting corners.
Wow, that's so natural. A female electrician, wow.
Rennick got a letter this morning.
You see a lot of those.
He's been up to hide
wow.
Since.
The 0.0000001%. Talking like a man, thinking like a man, looks like a man. Jeez. Wow, I guess women are a lot like men, especially when they're obese.
We'll put a wee picture of Rennick up on the board for you.
Again, it's a dude. Let's just face it. It's a freaking guy. Ugly, disgusting woman. By the way, working a freaking blue-collar job. Literally a female electrician. Wow, that has nothing to do with ESG. It's not like ESG always tries to push this idea of female blacksmiths, female Vikings, female plumbers, female this, female... They always try to put within male-dominated roles women. Wow, that's really strange. And they always try to masculinize those women. Well, that's really interesting. I wonder if this game had any ESG involvement. Of course it did. But anyways, this character is so detestable, and it's a character that follows with you throughout the entire game. And it's like, who the frick wants to look at a freaking ugly female throughout the entirety of a game? Who wants to see that? No one's interested in that. So you're just going through this entire game. The characters are so detestable. They're so annoying. They're all ugly, frumpy people. And it's like, who the frick? This is some of the most demoralizing trash that's out there. Who the frick actually wants to pick up these stories, pick up these games, actually purchase with their money? You want to purchase a game with ugly people in it. Do you really want that? The game's boring. It's not scary, but just outside of not being scary, it's boring. It has an uninspired storyline, narrative. There's nothing of worth in Still Wakes the Deep. This game sucks as a stupid story. The narrative makes no sense. The game drags on and on and on. There's really no gameplay, let's just face it. And I hated the game. And when I was getting down to the end of my time playing it, I legit got angry. And I was getting really mad. The longer I was playing for, I was like, please end this. I didn't even realize, but I had only played the game for like 5 to 6 hours before finishing it, or maybe only 4. It was a really short game that I played it for, but somehow, holy crap, dude, it felt like I had played the game for like 11 hours, when really I had only played it realistically for like 5 hours. Now, when I played it, I did a lot of talking, so overall, it was 7 hours for me, but just gameplay-wise, it was around 4 to 5 hours, or 6. Holy crap. I felt like this game was taking double the time that it actually took to play, which is absolutely insane, but that is how vexing this game is. And when I got down to the end of it, I freaking broke down and I sat there and said, bro, I cannot do this again. I cannot pick up a game that wastes my time like this. And I'm glad when it came down to Flint Spoken, you know, Flintlock, the Siege of Dawn, but Flint Spoken, the Siege of Frey Holland. When I picked up and played that game, I just immediately dropped it because this game reconfirmed for me, because for some reason I decided that I should finish this game, and wow, did I regret that. But even as short as this game was to complete, when I finished this game, I sat back and I said to myself, holy effing crap. I never want to pick up a game like this again or waste any hours of my effing life on these crappy dog water horse trash games. Oh yeah, and before we head out, it's also brave and beautiful. It's amazing that in this game, we also have a crappy husband, crappy, I guess, father as well. Main character here for this game. We have to have a man that is failing his family, and that's why his wife is divorcing him. Obviously, he's a piece of trash. Obviously, he has to work on a freaking oil rig, and that's tough on their marriage, but he's a piece of trash for that. He's a terrible father for that. There's no understanding for the main character for the life that he's living, and he's just supposed to be dunked on and trashed on for the man that he is. Yeah, effectively this game is following a main male character that's effectively a cock. A libtard cock. He sits there and he hates his own country. He doesn't have his own country's flag within his little cabin. And then when his wife just makes it up that her hardworking husband is not pleasing her in all the right ways, we have to just all support the fact that she wants to dunk on this guy and say, screw you, and I'm divorcing you. And the writers are like, yeah, he's obviously a bad guy and screw him. And yeah, obviously he should be getting divorced with. And he's a terrible father too because he also did something wrong with his daughters. Like, I think he like lost them or something when they were out on a playground or something. I think there was also part of the segment of the game that was highlighting that he was a really dismissive father or something like that, and that's a part of the reason why his wife left him. It's just all this freaking dog crap that just vilify men, which is such modern day horse crap. Again, bro, would I tell you freaking pick up this game and play it? Abso-freaking-lutely not. Maybe for... Oh, that frame rate though, huh? God dang, girl, what's up?
Shit, girl, you looking good today. I can see you finna smooth. We so finna smooth in here. Sminna food. This is sminna food. Oh, shit, girl. Man, I love watching you wiggle like that. Shit, girl, come on, keep it going. Shit, girl, don't let up. I'm finna finish in here. Oh, shit, son. This is the best I ever seen. I'm a finna clap these right here. Shit, you looking good today. Oh my gosh. What the frick? Keep it flapping, girl. Come on. Come on. Keep that thing moving. You gotta keep that wobble. Keep that wobble, girl. That jiggle wiggle. She, girl. Oh, no. Oh, freak, man. Oh, no. It was a brother. Oh, she, man. Oh, man. The monster be holding you down, man. The monster be holding you down, and she. Alright, man. I'll survive. Uh-oh.
That dude died. Oh man, they're holding down the white man too. Oh, now you really know it's bad. Oh shoot.
Jesus, Ennis.
Was it a good experience? Yes.
Oh, no, man. Oh, they be holding my brothers down. Oh, she, man. Oh, no. More my brothers. We going by the wayside, man.
Christ, you alright?
Oh, shoot, man.
Can you get out?
They're keeping the White brothers down, too.
Coming at me.
But they're coming for you last.
Didn't put right
They're so
crabs
messed
in
up.
a field now.
Ah, she, son. We finna jump this. We finna jump across this gap right here. Ah, she's old freak, son. Ah, she, that'll finna fall inside that sea, that ocean right down there. Ah, she, son. We are finna falling right now. Oh, dang, girl. Oh, she, girl. We are finna falling apart right now into that sea, that ocean right down there. Oh, she, son. That a demon pedal or something.
I can hear.
What you doing? Then you get close to that. Come back and say.
What?
Ah, she, man, it's getting real. Trippy up in here.
Before it falls apart.
my eyes, they getting splotchy and stuff, man.
What is this stuff?
Ah, shit, brother. My head getting freaking light and a little bit twisty. Oh, shit, I'm in the ocean, brother. Oh, shit. I can't swim, brother. Oh, shit, I'm drowning, brother. I can't swim, brother. Shit, man, I was raised for this.
Not interested, brother. Not interested. I'm going this way, yeah. See you freaking later, brother. Oh yeah, we do the hot guy stuff, brother. Oh, geez, son. You're looking like we are finna balance now, hey? Oh, gee, brother.
Oh, freak, man. Oh, freak. I'm so afraid of heights and water. Ah, shit, brother. Oh, I'm shaking right now. Ah, oh, yo, girl, yeah. Oh, my, get that wibble lobble going. Oh, free, son. Ah, shit, that's some good wibbly wobbly. Oh, shit, girl. Yeah, keep it moving, girl. Keep it swaying. Gotta follow that motion, girl. Ah, shit. You're looking good today. Gee, man, that'd be a vent for a fire or something. That hella crazy right now. It's hella trippy. Hella whack, brother. We wildin' out here. Wildin' on these catwalks. Ah, shit. We wildin' so hard. Ah, shit, son. We gotta follow the ledge. I done this before in Uncharted, brother. Gee, this ledge be wildin'. Ah, gee, son, I don't wanna be here again. Ah, freak. Water and heights, brother. I can't do this right now. Oh, shit, man, this crazy. Oh, shit, oh, freak, man. This freaking ladder can't hold me, brother. I've been eating too much fried chicken. Oh, shit. Oh, freak. The fried chicken got me, brother. Oh, the fried chicken got me, brother. Ah, shit. I should have stopped eating when I had the chance. But the cafeteria was too good, man.
Shite.
Second try, man. Oh, freak. Oh, shit, brother. Don't worry, I got it this time. Come on. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I'm a white boy, brother. I wasn't made for this.
Hell. Just get across.
Correction, brother. I'm a white man. I was made for the ocean. But falling down places and going all uppity in places, I can't do this, brother. This white boy stuff, it ain't life, man, stuff. Gee, brother. What's happening? Ah, freak. We can leave? Ah, I'm finna get out of here. We are finna survive. For real, for real. Oh man, oh no, brother. This is whack. It's too dark in here. That's way too deep. Oh, brother, oh, that goes way too deep. Oh, shit, this wilded. Oh my gosh. Shit, man, oh my gosh, there's people talking right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, the freaking heights, brother. Oh my god. This can't be wild.
Jesus Christ.
What the shit, brother? Oh my god. I wasn't made for this. I wasn't made for climbing through the random oil rigs, man. This oil rig be tripping. It's wackier than my freaking, my obese girlfriend. Oh my gosh. Oh, she, brother. I gotta take that. No, don't fall, bro. Oh, she, man. Oh my god. They are finna pull up. Oh, man. Oh, man, I gotta get out of here. Come on, man. Use your arms, brother. Come on. Come on, son. Yeah, there we go. Oh, thank God. I was getting so freaking winded down there. This oil rig be tripping so hard, making me work for it. But it be looking good, girl. Oh, free, look at that swing. Oh, follow the motion, girl. Oh, shoot. Man, she knows how to flow. Oh, that's so good. Oh, free, it dark in here. Oh, freak, man. You got heights, you got water, now you got the dark. Oh, freak, man, I can't do this. This be wildin' and shit. Oh, freak, man. I wasn't made for this. It's some white boy stuff. Oh, freak. Alright, man, we gotta go up in here. Here we freaking go. Oh, freak. Gotta crouch and stuff. Gotta be extra quiet. Oh, freak. I don't like tight spaces either. Don't like water.
Can I get this one open? No chance.
Don't like water. Don't like heights. I can't take tight spaces. I can't stand any of it. Shoot, man. And now we in aqueducts. We in them aqueducts. Finna aqueducting in here.
Jesus.
Oh, hold on. Oh, shit, girl. Oh, look at you move. Oh, freak. Look at that wibbling and wobbling. Look at the way she can the way she moved that thing. Oh, freak, man. Oh, shit, you could. God dang, girl. You looking good today. Shit, man. Yo, what is this skybox, by the way? He's a prick because he believes in these things. Let's read this off. Oh, this is so evil. So evil. This is so wrong. Here we go. Thank you, you libtard developers. You have to find a way to enforce your politics and to hate on everyone that's normal. Don't even get me started on every single one of these mother effing topics. Although the common market, I actually don't really know what that is. Here we go. Okay, actually, let's look it up on the spot. What is common market? Common market. A group of countries, imposing few or no, what is that? Few or no, is that duties? Hold on. What does that mean? A group of countries imposing few or no duties, again, that doesn't make any sense, okay, or trade with one another and a common tariff on trade with other countries. Okay. Okay. All right. A name for the European Economic Community or European Union used especially in the 1960s and 1970s. A common market is an agreement between two or more countries removing all trade barriers between themselves. Okay. So opening up trade between multiple countries, establishing common tariff and non-tariff barriers for importers, and also allowing for the free movement of labor, capital, and services between themselves. See, I wonder what that actually has to do with
So, okay, it just sounds like open trade between different countries, which I could see maybe a reason for why you would not like that. It doesn't have to make you evil that for some reason you don't like a common market. That is so crazy that these libtards are triggered by such simplistic things. And yet they're not triggered by socialism, which is what? People who don't work make the same as people who do work. That is the entire purpose of socialism. And somehow that's not wrong, that's not evil. So, okay, let's read this off. Stop immigration. Oh, what a prick. Yeah, let's get into that soon. Reject common market. Oh, wow, what a prick. Restore capital punishment. What a prick. Make Britain great again. Okay, is this actually what conservative British people, this is actually what they think and say? Or is this a caricature for a bunch of libtards who made a video game? What is it? Frickin' clowns. Make Britain great again. Oh, what a frickin' prick. Scrap overseas aid. Oh, what a prick. Who in Britain is delivering aid overseas, by the way? That is strictly what America does. America is footing the bill for so many things for the UK. There's a bunch of UK leaders making billions of dollars off of America because America treats the globe as a charity case. That's our government. Then we've got millionaires, billionaires in America, trillionaires now, and they throw their money towards everyone outside of their country. Okay, so what aid is England providing anyone outside of themselves? Genuine question. Whatever, man. And rebuild our armed forces. What a prick. Oh my gosh. I wonder what the other gay little frickin', what's the best way of calling it? Let's players? Yeah, what did they think when they saw this, huh? Were they like, oh yeah, what a prick. Wow, oh my gosh. It's not like I actually care. It's just like they're playing for a retarded audience. And I wonder how many people overlook this when they see it and they're like, oh, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Why would they put this in the game? Why would this ever be placed here? Why? This guy is obviously patriotic, nationalistic. He has the flag of his country in his cabin. He's a prick. And you're not a prick. You're not a prick because you, by the way, you don't have a freaking flag in your freaking cubby or cabin. Okay? So, oh, I'm sorry. The guy that loves his country, actually, he's a prick and you're not. How about you go, grab your wife's dildo, her uranium dildo, and stuff it inside of yourself. How about that? Oh, wow. Jeez, this is just an allegory for frickin' Trump. Love of God, look at this. Put Britons first. Oh, wow. I wonder who, that's weird. There's some people who say put Americans first. Oh, that's interesting. And then they say stop immigration. Oh, interesting. And they also say stop engaging in not e-commerce, what am I saying? In commerce with other countries that are screwing you over through method of placing tariffs on their own products, overcharging you. They get to make money off of making products and selling them to you, but then they're also taxing you for those products. Like, well, gee, we're getting wrecked. Man, you really have to up price those products if you want to make money off of them. That's messed up. We shouldn't be doing that. You prick. Or what about immigration? Oh yeah, immigration, that's going so well for so many countries. By the way, all throughout history, every country that's done immigration, that's really worked out well. It's not like that destroyed Greece, destroyed Rome. It's not like diversifying your country and bringing in a bunch of people from other demographics and backgrounds doesn't just destroy your ethics, your ideals, and your culture, your traditions as a civilization. Yeah, immigration's a great thing. Immigration's a great thing when you're bringing in, by the way, a bunch of freaking criminals and they're committing a bunch of crimes and then they're actually getting off for those crimes and no one cares. No one cares. Don't pay attention. Stop paying attention. What are you doing? You're paying attention. That's wrong. That's wrong. You prick. Yeah, and by the way, with immigration, they do take your jobs. They do take your, they like to make fun of it. Oh, they're taking our jobs. That whole thing. Yeah, they are. They are taking the jobs. You freaking clowns, you freaking retards, you freaking libtards, you raging libtarded losers. You are wrong, the other side's right. They do take jobs, and that is a problem for your people, your native-born people, and their economy. The economy for your fellow citizen, not for the fellow foreigner. Immigration corrodes and decays a civilization, its stability, and its uniformity. And you're going to sit there and you're going to call someone that wants to keep their country and their culture not only safe, but stable. You're going to call them a prick. Go screw yourself. And I hope you find a long piece of rope and I hope you figure out what it's good for. Restore capital punishment. Jeez, I wonder why someone would say that. Oh, that's right. Because of freaking immigration, you're sitting there and you're bringing in a bunch of freaking clowns who commit a bunch of crimes. And you also have a bunch of, criminals inside your own population, however many it is, depending on the civilization, whatever. And you're saying, let's restore an absolute punishment to people who commit atrocities against citizens, law-abiding citizens of a country. How dare you, prick? You want there to be absolute punishment, absolute consequences for criminals. You prick. Frick out of here, man. Again, go find your freaking wife's freaking dildo and ask her to freaking go out town with you, okay? Because clearly you're not wearing the pants in your own freaking life. Get the frick out of here. Scrap overseas aid. Scrap overseas aid. Gee, I wonder why what a prick, by the way. What a prick. How dare you say that? It's not like there's any problem with collecting all your money and then throwing your money all over the place to other people that are not of your citizenry and your country. Oh, wow, that's so weird. It's so weird that you would want to stop throwing money to people who are not within your own borders and specifically benefiting your people within your own borders. No, you're right. We should be throwing all of our country's money to people outside of our country, help people outside of our country. Hey, you know that weird thing throughout history where it used to be that a lot of countries outside your borders were actually your enemies? If you're throwing money at them, either you're indebted to them, right? You're enslaved. It's a feudal situation where you are indebted. Your reign, your sovereignty is indebted to this higher authority. Or again, they're claiming you as their vassal, and you have to do whatever as a little biatch boy. Sometimes you just belong as a vassal, whatever. It doesn't make you a biatch boy. Anyways, but you're a servant to that country, and you don't have your own sovereignty. That's why you would be giving aid to another country, either so that they can destroy you, either they've already destroyed you, and now you just owe stuff to them, right? Or, etc., etc. But never is it that you are a sovereign country and you're just benefiting everybody else besides yourself. Gee, I wonder why this raging prick, wonder why he would want us to scrap overseas aid. I wonder if it's so that we can reallocate our own resources for our own people instead of someone else's people who at some point in the future might want to go to war with our country after we gave them so much. Oh, it's like that never happened in history, right? You freaking libtard, right? You freaking libtard. History never existed. It never happened. You obviously know better than everybody else, especially when you sit there and you are shaming and guilting people for a position that they know that is correct. For a position that they know is correct. You're shaming them for that. And then rebuild our armed forces. You prick. How dare you? You want to rebuild your military so that your country, your civilization is capable of defending itself in case anyone wants to go to war with you? Gee, it's not like that. There's ever a good reason for that. Oh, that whole thing with Israel and Palestine. Oh, that whole thing. Gee, I wonder if one of the sides getting attacked by the other side, I wonder if they wish they had armed forces at the ready. Oh, shoot. When Rome got invaded by the barbaric armies from the north, gee, I wonder if they wanted their army available. By the way, Rome at that time, they were split east and west Rome, but still, gee, that's weird. That whole thing about Ukraine and Russia. Oh, that whole thing. Gee, I wonder if the side getting attacked, I wonder if they would really love it if they had armed forces at the ready. Gee, I wonder why a prick would value the idea of a country that they love, of a country that they don't want to see destroyed in active real time in 4K HD. I wonder why they would want to see their armed forces rather than completely abolished. Let's rebuild it and let's make sure that's maintained. Let's make sure that we have an active military front so that we could defend ourselves. Oh, that's crazy. You're right. It's wrong and it's evil for there to be an armed forces for your country. You're right, libtard. You're right. You should bend over backwards when you're getting invaded by those immigrants. Remember that? Those crime-committing immigrants. You shouldn't have any armed forces to defend yourself against those invading immigrants. And then when you say, do we have a capital punishment? Obviously not. When they commit crimes or when they're doing whatever it is to impoverish our people, our native-born people, my ancestries, fellow kin, fellow brother, screw that guy that my grandfather fought in a war with or worked in this economy with, building this country up. Screw that guy, screw our ancestry, screw my fellow citizen. You know what? You're right. We should just bring these freaking people in. And when they commit crimes, they should not be dealt the consequences because that's wrong. And that's evil. There is a moralistic impurity to this. I am ethically compromised for standing for my people and standing against crime. That is what makes Britain great again. That is what makes Britain great again. And when we're getting screwed over by people and they're trading tariffs with us from overseas and they're making all the cents, they're making all the dollars, and we have all the money to lose. Oh, wow, that's interesting. We're sending aid overseas. We're sending a bunch of aid overseas. Billions of dollars. Our money that could be going to our own people, we're sending that over to a bunch of freaking other people while they are taxing us for products that they make. We're buying those products. So not only are we sending money to everyone, including the people taxing us for their products, but now we're also getting taxed for those wonderful, wonderful products. That is awesome. And that's what's going to make Britain great again. You're right. We're not getting screwed up the frickin' rear end. Sending money overseas and then getting taxed when we're purchasing products for some reason outside of our own country. For some reason, we're not buying our own products. We're not making our own revenue. No, we're making another country and their revenue while we are destituting ourselves, giving them our frickin' income. We're left with nothing, and then we have a bunch of freaking morons coming in, and we don't know who the frick they are. Oh, it turns out they don't do a lot of good things. Wow, that's interesting. But we have a bunch of morons coming in. They don't believe anything that we believe. They don't believe in our history. They don't even speak our freaking language, so we can't even speak to them. So if they ever get pissed at me, oh, well, you can't talk it out. All you have left is violence. Well, clearly, we shouldn't have capital punishment against a freaking criminal. So now, when there's violence by these random immigrating individuals, tough stuff. Tough stuff, bro. Tough stuff. That's the reality for you. Tough stuff. Deal with it. Deal with it because you're being ethically pure, getting your freaking anus wrecked by these random criminals. While other countries are also destituting you through their trade practices, and also, for some reason, you are committed to charity. And thank God we don't have any armed forces, police, military, to ever stop or apprehend criminals or outside invaders, which is basically the same thing with immigration. And by the way, it's such a great thing, right? That you bring in all these people who don't speak your language, they don't care about your culture, and they're taking your jobs. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Instead of giving those jobs to your own citizens, instead of home growing your own talent for the work that you need done inside of your civilization, no, it's a better idea that we just sit here and we allow these clowns to come on in. And really, all they do every single time, they bring in their country that they left into your country, because they don't give two freaking craps about your country. It's called invasive assimilation. It's not immigration, it's invasive assimilation, you freaking clown. What a prick. Yeah, this guy right here. 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 Who posts up his freaking flag, who actually believes in something with his country. Yeah, he's a prick. What a freaking prick. Let me guess. He has a nudie magazine, right? He likes looking at sexy women. Oh, look at that. Are those weights? Oh no. Oh dear God, does he work out? Oh my God, he stays in shape? Oh, what a prick. He works out? What a bigoted prick. This mother effer. Oh my gosh. He makes freaking carpentry. He likes working with his hands. Wow. And he has a child. Love you, Dad. What a prick. Wow. He wants his country to stop being screwed over. He wants his country to be safe and sovereign and stable. And he even has a family. And he even lifts weights. And where's the women? Where's the sexy women? There's got to be a sexy woman somewhere. There's no sexy woman in here. Well, so he's just a terrible man. He's not a misogynist. That's so unfortunate. What a prick, though. What a prick. You see, for developers like these, the point of doing this is that they want to take out all their frustration on Donald Trump. They want to take out all their frustration on conservatives having a voice in any way whatsoever. And they want to trash on you for having your beliefs, having your convictions, and knowing why you have your convictions. By the way, liberals, if you want to be a liberal, you can't think. You don't think. The second you start thinking, you realize my own positions are retarded. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Why am I thinking this way? Why am I speaking this way? How did I ever get to this illogical conclusion? How did I ever get here? And then you realize, holy crap, I need to stop right now and completely transform all of my beliefs. But with libtards, they never admit defeat, even when they're wrong. And this is not even a joke, by the way. Libtards, even when they're proven absolutely wrong, and this has happened time and time again, even when they enact corruption, they will sit there and call your side the side of corruption. They don't believe in anything. They don't believe in anything. They don't care for anything. They do not even admit to the reality of the world outside of themselves. They think everything is just happenstance. They think everything's random. Oh, you can't toss it up to a certain type of individual does certain types of things. You can't do that. That's bigoted. How dare you make a generalization? The generalization is correct. No, you bigot. You prick. How dare you? Again, these are Democrats. These are Democrat developers who go out of their way espousing their politics, pushing their politics into gaming, and they want you to think that they are normal, that there's nothing wrong with this. Right here. And they want to have all the excuse in the world to take out their frustration on someone that has a better argument than themselves. They hate conservatives, they hate Donald Trump, and they literally go to such an extent to make a little billboard or some kind of promotional piece in this game right here, mimicking off Donald Trumpian policies, but in the image of British people. and them having the same convictions as a man that wants his country safe, stable, and sovereign. Absolute clown show, absolute clown world. You are sitting here and you are watching these mother effers moralize to you, litigate to you, right and wrong, truth and reason, any kind of sense of your delusion, your irrationality. They're gonna make it up for you, and you just have to listen. Like a good little ideological slave, they tell you what's right, they tell you what's wrong, and you, like a good little freaking puppy, you freaking wag your tail and you follow on your leash. And then you watch a gay guy have a shower. I wanna see, where's your freaking flag, bro? Let me see that flag. Stronger together. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a join your union. Yeah, this sounds like libtard thinking. Take the... Wait, that's something. Take the pressure off. What the frick?
Aye, quite right, Trots.
Show me your flag. Where's your flag? Where's the flag? Gee. Wow, what a prick. Yeah, what a prick. Wow, he loves his country. I don't see your flag. Gee, I wonder if it's bigoted and hateful to be patriotic and nationalistic for your civilization that born and raised you. Gee. Yeah, this, having a flag garnered as important by somebody that the developers refers to as a prick. Gee, there's no purpose to this. There's no reason. This is just sitting here. This doesn't mean anything. Oh, they didn't mean that bigots, conservative bigots, post up their flags all over the place for their country. Oh, they totally didn't mean to demonize those who value their country. Not at all. Not at all when they call you a prick. For valuing these things, it actually stabilizes civilization all throughout history. Every civilization that has fallen apart didn't do these things. They didn't stop immigration. They didn't reject getting screwed over by outside marketplaces, other countries. They didn't restore capital punishment. They didn't make their country great again. They didn't scrap overseas aid, sending a bunch of charity money to other countries outside of yourself. And they didn't rebuild their armed forces. Every country that hasn't done that, they've all been torn apart. But you're right. The guy's a prick.